what I like to do or how I like to prepare for interviews for the 6th day that I'm working, on my day off. I'm doing them a favor, play up, or just kind of repeat the same things that he's already heard. Hey everyone. So I'm sitting in a parking lot again in my car. What else is new? I just had my interview kinda-ish with a dentist friend of the current dentist that I'm working for. They need someone to help on Mondays, and I'm looking obviously to make some more money. So yeah, I'm here in the area, and I thought I would just kind of do a quick little recap of what I like to do or how I like to prepare for interviews, which I'm not really nervous for the interview part. The only part I'm really nervous for is the discussion of money, because I just want to be fairly compensated for the 6th day that I'm working, on my day off. I'm doing them a favor. In terms of clothing, I try and make sure that I am looking professional, your typical interview clothes, but I always try and keep in mind that I want to feel as comfortable as possible without, obviously just wearing sweatpants. You want to look professional, but you also don't want to be wearing clothes that don't fit properly, or you're constantly tugging at, trying to adjust, because it just takes your attention away from the actual interview part. Second, in terms of your hair and makeup, I never try and do anything new. This day and age in a dental office, I was wearing a mask. So makeup, whatever. I just do my everyday makeup. I don't try any new products, especially new foundations. I don't know how they're gonna look on my face. Any new mascaras. I definitely don't put lashes on, just because of again, most of the time, I want to say 99% of the time, I can put on lashes and they'll be comfortable the entire day, but there's that one chance where the lash is like irritating you or whatever, and it makes your eyes water. So I try and avoid doing that. I basically woke up today and then just did the exact same things I do every day for my regular work, except usually I don't wear mascara. I either have that lash lift where my lashes are naturally are curled with product and tinted, so everybody always kind of looks like I have mascara on, but I always have foundation on, my eyebrows done, and a glow, some sort of face highlighter with a bronzer. That's my usual go-to. I just don't try anything new really right before an interview. I stick to clothes that fit well, look good, aren't a distraction. And today was like not a super formal interview, so my pants are, yes, a little bit dressy. My issues, shoes, I don't have a lot of pair of shoes, and I don't like wearing heels, so I have these like wedge type of sneakers that are suede. They look nice, but they're also still comfortable, and yeah, because they're a wedge, they kind of give me some height as well, which I don't really need. I'm 5'6", so pretty tall. I've done a lot of interviews in my entire life, working life. Once you get into dental hygiene and it's like not your first hygiene job, you kind of know what to expect, the questions. I was lucky that he already kind of knew of me from another dentist. I just had to play up, or just kind of repeat the same things that he's already heard. So, they do the tell me about yourself, and I just go on with like keep it all related to the job kind of thing. I don't like to go on a tangent unless you have a common hobby or activity with the dentist. Or the interview, that's like a good thing to play off of. Like if they have a dog and you love dogs, they have a cat, you love cats, that's like something you guys can talk about. But I just kept it to talking about my past, how I decided to become a hygienist. I always say, I changed careers late in life, and I speak the truth. I just say makeup and hair wasn't fulfilling my soul, as in I felt like I wasn't really helping people the way that I wanted to be helping them. Social media has made it kind of like it was more of like a negative space for me. And so I wanted to change into something where I was still a part of helping someone aesthetically, but also systemically, like healthcare. And they're always usually interested in the fact that I switched careers, and they want to know, you know, some similarities. I always just say I'm good with talking to patients, but I'm also always throw in like a bit of honesty, being like, it does drain me because I put so much of myself out there and I want to make people comfortable, but you know, it comes at a cost to my own social meter, social whatever. I kind of like to throw out my what's that interview question that they ask and you have to think of something that's like a negative but turn it into a positive somehow. So I like to throw that out there before they even get a chance to ask me, because it just seems more natural in the conversation. I feel like if they were to ask me that and then I were to say my answer, it would just not seem genuine because it is a legitimate negative thing. So I joked, you know, he said that he heard that I was a keener, and I was like, yes, I'm a keener and I like to learn like a lot, and sometimes and I like to learn from different people, but also I want to do my very best at everything I do. I'm extremely hard on myself. So we joked, I was like, good for you, bad for me long term wise. I'm sure if you guys have been watching my videos, you know how hard I am. I talk about myself all the time, how unhappy I am with something, just because it's not perfect. And to be honest, I don't, whatever, random spiel, I don't even know what it is that I'm looking for that's perfect. I'm always just on to the next thing. It's exhausting. I am nervous. It's another very difficult office where it's like a perio office, but not a perio office. The patients that they inherited from the previous dentist, they're struggling to educate them on periodontitis and bone loss and all this stuff because the previous dentist just wasn't interested in doing that stuff. It's like really old and old school. It was just basically a glorified hygienist at that point from what they were telling me the stories of. I didn't really plan for this video. I just was like, okay, I need to sit down and get this all out before I forget, because it's literally like, it just finished the interview and then I came and sat in my car. So there are scenarios where the dentist, you know, was saying like, if you feel like a patient really needs it, he knows how to do flap surgery, and he's like, you can go ahead and do cleanings that way if you'd like. It looks like I'll be educating a lot. It does seem like they do a lot more in the hour, which makes me nervous. So again, I have to really get on the speed of my cleanings and especially my probings, because he's very big on probings, as we know. But I think, again, it's about catching up on the patients because they haven't been probed in a really long time. My office that I work at full time, they are transitioned from paper to digital. So that's the same thing. We're trying to catch up on all the probing and putting them all onto the computer. So that's my issue there. So I'm really just going to be spending a lot of time looking on a continuing education programs or courses about how to like really ergonomic positioning, because I think that's my thing. Is I just can't see some of the areas. At least this hygiene room that I'll have will have windows, so I'll have a bit of a view, thank God. Sometimes it's depressing just looking at a gray wall, and then my walls at home are gray and I just really hate gray walls. I think if you find a really good office, you'll know just by how, oh my god, there's a wasp, just by how important or how well invested they are in the clients themselves. And you won't really feel like you are just in a production of just trying to make the office money. They're very big on education, both the offices. I did let them know I was interested. I didn't get a chance to discuss money with them because it is a bit of a drive for me. And it means more gas. My insurance goes up because of the longer distance, and it just, of course, being the extra day of the week, and I'm helping them out. So we'll see. Maybe he'll message me, because he doesn't usually work Mondays, but their hygienist called in sick, so he had to come in and do the cleanings for the hygienist. And I was like, oh, you should have told me. I could have at least done some. But I'm glad I didn't, because it would have been really overwhelming. They use some of the same stuff. Obviously, all dental offices, you'll have, you know, the pan, the x-rays, this and that, but I don't think I would have time for everything. I really need to like speed things up, and I don't know where I'm slowing down, to be honest. Something is wrong with the way that I'm cleaning in terms of efficiency. Sorry, I'm just trying to think, like, what could it be? Am I just spending too much time going over each tooth? I know that when I just hand scale, I finish things a lot faster, because I am only going over the tooth once, but I have that more tactile sensitivity, so I can feel right away if there is some calculus. Whereas when I work with the ultrasonic, while you can clean a full mouth, you need different tips for different areas, and we only have like 2 different ones. So a lot of the times the ultrasonic, the ones that we have, the Cavitron, the tip, I can't clean the distal of the 7s very well unless they have a large mouth and I can see it's very difficult to adapt back there. So there's always stuff left there by the time I come back with my regular instruments. And then, yeah, I'm just not being efficient. Back to the interview process. I also think you should keep in mind, if you're a dental hygienist looking for a first job or second job, just know that we are in high demand right now. That's kind of what has always been in the back of my mind. Like, they contacted me, like I had their number and I was waiting. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to reply or not, or like do the job, just because of whatever. Temping is a lot easier in terms of schedule because I can pick and choose when I want to work. So that was that was me being hesitant on reaching out, but they reached out to me, kind of thing. So clearly, you know, they need me, and I have good reviews, even though I'm really hard on myself and sometimes I just feel stupid. But that's, again, me being really hard on myself. I always have that in the back of my head, like I'm doing them a favor, and that makes it easier for me to get through the interview. And you know, if this doesn't work out, that's fine. I can temp and make extra money that way. And I think it's also important when you're doing the interview or when you're discussing, you want to make sure that you let them know what you can do for them, what you'll be offering them. I'll say stuff like yes, I'm newer to dental hygiene. I don't have as much experience, but or any experience, depending on when you're watching this or what you're watching this for. I'll say, just basically, I'll reiterate or kind of put everything in that whole interview that I've said in a few sentences. I'll mention, while I'm new, so it's like a negative, I'm very keen. I'm very eager to learn. I want to be perfect at it, and I know that that's great for you guys, but it ends up being very hard on myself. But I know that if you were to hire me, I would put, 110% in improving myself and trying to do the best that I can for every patient and for the office. So you put a little bit of yourself in there, and more so for the office. And then I usually end up saying something along the lines of, however this works out, I know it'll be a great learning experience for myself in the future. Just being very open and honest and trying not to be intimidated. That's it. You have to go in there thinking that you're better than them, not being obviously cocky, but it's just to help you kind of get through the interview and be able to answer questions, and also just seeing them as your coworker, your same level as them. They have nothing on you. So that you can have a more comfortable flowing conversation. That's what I think about when I'm doing interviews. I'm gonna leave it there. I have to go shopping. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.